but don't worry, those of you who are not yet here, which aren't hearing me, we won't be actually starting the gameplay or the real, proper stream for a few minutes. Just wanted to make sure everything is working. I really take the release day streams of a game because seriously, because a lot of you are still thinking about buying or have bought and want to, get a, how to work the game. Because yes, a lot of this we already know, basic things, but hey Lanzer, and Grey Knight's here. Hello. You already know the basics of it because it's a fundamentally old style of gaming, which is really good because it's a good style of gaming, but some of the more nuances. And hello Apollo, I want to, and we'll call you Navy TC. I want to be very clear with you guys. I'm not here to sell you the game. I do want you to watch the stream. I want you to make a reasonably well-informed decision on whether you want to buy the game or not. That is my goal. I'm sure I know Slytherin wants to sell you a game, but a happy customer is, or a happy non-customer of a particular game is much better than an unhappy customer who, bought something that wasn't appropriate for him. So, hello Lam, good to see you. And Malik, I don't know. Sure, I'm butchering that. Okay, let's get started with everything now. All right, I've jumped ahead. Okay, we can just see Romania yields south. Another Dobroya to Bulgaria. That's probably these two hexes here as part of Bulgaria's deal to join the Axis. Romania yields Transylvania to Hungary. That would be here. And Germany gets fighter bomber advancements of 1. South Atlantic Convoy Group sinks, or subgroup sinks 2 convoys, and the fleet out at 11369 is low on supplies. Yeah, Lancer, that's not a bad thing to do. One, you never know what sales may be coming between now and then. I have no idea. But also, this game is very playable, very good, but I still think to some degree it's a minor work in development. So waiting a little bit is not a bad thing to do. All right, so here we are. We've been moving forces east. No, I'm just I'm thinking here. Now I have another save here. So I'm going to quit this. I know I started a little early. Load game. See, I have these. Let's do this. Save. Just looked at this. Yes. Slightly different world situation. This is where I really actually meant to start. Sorry about that. Hey, unknown. Yeah, okay. This is Italy assault advancement and close support. Yeah, that's where we should be. Okay, now we are ready to invade Yugoslavia now. That's sort of what I wanted to jump forward to. Up to there. Okay. I love the train movement on this game. Okay, so now we are really ready to invade Yugoslavia. This is going to be a German invasion. Oh, you did? Maybe. Do we have anybody? Okay, a bunch of infantry divisions for Germany ready to deploy. We'll deal with that in a moment. But what we're going to do is come here. We're on Germany. You can click to be Italy, but we're going to be on Germany. And down here towards the bottom, we're going to declare war on Yugoslavia. So now they are part of the Allies, and we're going to go after them. We are going to first push in here. We're going to armies and corps have zone of control, so I want to kill this unit or push it back at a minimum first before I push up with other units. 8-1, that seems fairly good. 10-1, okay, they're destroyed. Now, which will allow me to move this mountain corps to here. Now we can see, oh damn, well, not quite enough movement or enough action points to continue to push there, but we can come down here and cut them off from supply. Yeah. Get to the south there. Okay, we haven't controlled any of the airfields long enough to push into there. Moving down some security divisions, because we will see very quickly partisans spring up there. Now, another thing on partisans, you do get the notification up at the top at the start of the turn, but if you like, you can turn on supply, and oh, there we go. We can see where we're having some partisan troubles and activity, either actively happening or starting. Snow is sort of hemming us in up there, so we're going to turn that off. Come over here now. I want to get this corps to the east, but I still want some anti-partisans in Denmark, so we're going to put them here, and we have two. I want a third division coming in down here to deal with Yugoslavia. I want to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corps out of here. So let's place. Is it on Steam? No. Okay. No. It's for sale right now only through the Matrix store. They have stated that if, and they do put a big emphasis on if, it goes onto Steam, they will provide Steam codes at that time. So they're not doing it. Now that is from statements on their forums. My personal guess, and again I'm just guessing here, is either they weren't quite sure how. I think they got a big hit on their hands with this game. I'm really enjoying this game. So they may not have thought the sales were going to be enough to warrant a selling it on Steam. It may have also been thought compared to something like Strategic Command, which is a much older, much more mature game, if you will, gone through more versions, that they may not have thought this is ready for prime time. So, I think this is going to be a really big and popular game. Not as much micromanagement as, yes, more in depth than the operational art of war. Yeah, the UI is pretty good. One thing I've pointed out to the developer, who doesn't appear to be here today, he's been on the last 2 streams, he may show up, is that when I'm looking at what units I'm buying, and you can look on YouTube for my earlier playthrough of this that we've been streaming, I often wish I could also be seeing the production queue I've already put in produced. So I hope for some improvements on the UI, but the UI, generally speaking, is good, I would say. Works well. I prefer this over Strategic Command. I played a bunch of Strategic Command again. Gamer_1745 here. You can check out my YouTube channel that has a bunch of Strategic Command. This game has addressed most all of my issues that I have with Strategic Command, like stacking. You can stack 1 ground unit, 1 air unit, and 1 naval unit in the hex. It deals with that. Navies. This, you can split these apart. You can just unselect all these and select if you just want the light cruiser destroyer squadron and move it out to go hunt subs or something, or you can move this, you can select all and move this as a big stack. So you have navies as a combined but separatable force, readily on the fly as you go. Rain was another big issue that you may have seen on some of my streams here. I've already done the attacks down here before I started this. It seems to be harder to find the fleet in the rain, but you can make attacks in the rain if it is a single drop. If it is a double drop, 2 droplets, no offensive air operations can be happening. You can, move to new air bases and that type of thing. But so weather affects things, but doesn't shut it down. I do believe, though I haven't fought in a double snow, I have fought in a single snow flake here, if you will. So whatever you consider it, light or moderate snow, still do air operations. Heavy snow really shuts things down, so it is seems appropriate, and we can see a full 3 stack here with an Italian ground unit, bunch of Italian naval forces, most of the Italian surface fleet there, some subs cannot operate with surface fleet, so actual operations you need to break out the 2 submarine forces, and then currently a German Flieger Corps is also in Taranto. So yeah, we can get a lot of stacking while it still is not too confusing in dealing with that. So I like Strategic Command. Strategic Command is good. Now you need to sort of walk through the stacks as I just did to get. I'm going to move. We can see again before supply really becomes an issue out in places like this. And we can see how we deal with it. Mentioned higher structural hierarchies. There's your HQ here for Germany, and this is Heinz Guderian's Army HQ. And we can scroll through here and see the different command strengths between combat, mobility, and tenacity for the different commanders. So the grayed out ones are currently assigned somewhere. So you have variances in the HQs. Hello, Pino. So yeah, there's a lot of that. So okay, so we moved down into there. Now let's look here at production, because we need to produce it. You don't have to buy anything every turn, because you can stockpile. Though notice there is a max on stockpiles, as I'm understanding it. I've skimmed through the manual and read some parts in detail. These are the two countries we're currently managing. So we're getting ready for the big Soviet invasion. I think we're going to do a large corps. Oh, also, you can stack two divisions together and form a small infantry corps. You can add a third infantry division to a small infantry corps and get a larger one, or split them up, work in the opposite direction. So that's also a stacking thing. So we will manpower, let's see, we can see it's about 200 production for 1940 assault infantry corps. So we're going to get two of those, and they go over here in the production queue, and we can see them right here. It's in setup, not date started production, but date of completion. And the current Italian corps, so we did that for Germany. Let's look at Italy. We're stockpiling. We've got 180. That's the main thing. Oil is used as for operations of like aircraft, tanks, ships that consume oil. And you can see, we can click on a unit here, and oil use of 2 for this unit for when it's operational. I don't think we're going to buy anything this turn as Italy. We're going to let the stockpile continue to stockpile. Let's look at our Air Force. 41 air superiority, 1940, and also has tech developments that you can see as they move through the path here. Okay, got a Flieger Corps, Jag Corps here, fighters coming. Again, as you can see, I'm jumping through all this. You know, maybe submarine, and maybe a long range one. See the different oil, defense, moving through. I think we're going to do this. Long range subs. Sounds like a plan. I know I don't have a complete detailed strategy worked out for all the way through to the end of the game by any means. I also think we have what I think it's 5 fighter groups here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move 2 of them east. Rail and ground units, or no, air and ground units can use rail. Sorry, I should learn how to speak. Can use rail movements if you so choose to use that. And we have our fleets out there. Okay, that's looking fairly good. Currently, Italy is still at peace with the world. So let's end this turn. Okay, so you can see up here as it's going through the AI's turn, you get to see as it making its decisions. Just have to stop and think about a few things a bit. Okay, Hungary signs the tripartite pact, so Hungary is now on the Axis. Italy's anti-tank advancement is 1. German total of 20 landing ships to the pool. Italy 20 trucks to their pool. Italy has stopped trade with Germany. It sort of changes because it's now an allied nation to Germany. The North Atlantic, or subgroup on the North Atlantic trade route, has sunk one convoy. Subgroup with two groups of subs sinking one convoy in the South Atlantic, and another single group of subs sunk 4 convoys and 1 escorts on the South Atlantic. So we can see our submarine operations out here. I'm going to keep moving you around so that you're not just in one location the whole time. All right, so our subs, you can click here and see active convoy routes, what's currently being used. Italy's coming through here because they've been cut off from some trade, I think. I think it's Italy or maybe Germany because we're at war with Yugoslavia. Turn that off. But we can see that. Alright, well, let's see about ending this war with Yugoslavia. Some air attacks will be really helpful. We have to fight our way into... Ooh, that's not very good. So let's come up here. We'll have one good attack with both of these units at 3 to 1. That gets pushed down to here. Let's... I'm going to save that air for operations against Belgrade here. The snow, we run into snow already, so that's really slowing down our movements. It wasn't last time when I played through here. No snow yet. I was able to get all these forces down to Yugoslavia. Okay, well, which means, and you can see here with the little flags what HQs are in his zone of control, if you will. Well, since we're not going to attack Yugoslavia this, or Belgrade, sorry, we're attacking Yugoslavia a bit, but not Belgrade this turn. Let's hit them a little harder with the air power. Okay, looks like they're going to survive this turn. Not what I wanted to have happen. Okay, so weather is changeable, variable, but based on, you know, seasonal, you know, norms. AI is pretty smart. You can sort of see, and Alvaro has said he's been trying to make the AI as smart as it can. So notice it's not defending the Romanian border. It's defending the Dnester river line, which is probably pretty smart. So it is trying to be smart. Rails are critical for supply, so you know, I don't know the advisability of leaving these forces here and not trying to, you know, put a force here, but notice they're securing a sort of major junction node that if I had pushed through here, where these are some roads to get through the Pripyat, I'm sure I'm butchering that as well, marshes, but we would cut off all the supply that they're trying to hold. So yeah, they're trying to be smart about it. There's basically a yearly start scenario for each year. I don't know really how useful that is for most players. Okay, we can look here, partisan activity. We can see that one's there. So let's see, we'll move them at least closer. And partisan activity already here in Yugoslavia. We're too far from that. Again, we can look at our supply map and see that where it is if we clicked on it. All right, so we're going to continue to move our air east. our fighters, or some of them. East, most of our ground attack are down here. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to bring Italy in just yet. Right, okay. Now, we've got 2 Panzer and 1 mechanized corps currently coming. Hoping to get a bunch of these mech and armored corps to the eastern front before that start. Now these are ready, so let's deploy the armor there. Well, before we start deploying, let's march these guys. Well, no, let's not march these guys. Let's put the corps on Brest. Yeah, we could use another corps up there. Okay, so they can do rail movement. And then we're going to use rail, which takes up less. We started with 100. That's down to 70. And we can see we're down at 60 here. Let's move the port garrison. We don't want to keep as a garrison. Now that we have Hungary in the war, we're going to move them to the Hungarian border with the Soviets. And this is lighter to move, but we'll move that back there as occupation garrisons. Now, deploying here. Let's deploy these. Yeah, I want to free up one more. At least one more corps. From France, occupation duties. Okay, so snow in December. Not unusual, I'm sure. Okay, so we have that. That's going well. Move the submarines. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing the submarines at the start of the turn so I don't forget that. Okay, well let's... I want another mechanized corps in the east. We can afford that. So we will... now I'm being very cautious also on what's going to be fuel usage. We can see our oil stockpiles here for Germany. But if you run out of oil, you stop operating effectively. Yeah. And for Italy, just because you can see here. Okay, well now here's a good. The Hungarian economy has a production of 6, so it has a current stockpile of 6 production here. Basically, sort of shown on the map as steel. We can see in convoys here that Hungary, as an allied nation, is sending us 5 steel, no oil. I want to start building up Hungary a little bit more. So what we're going to do is start a convoy. Let's throw in, I don't know, 16. And they do have 1 air unit. I think that's the main thing that uses oil, but we'll do 3 oil. Okay, so we're going to create this trade. And we can see it here that we're sending. We can stop it whenever we want, but we're sending off basically weapons and some oil. Now, Hungary has its own minor lift capacity for the railway, so they're going to come to there. them on a rail line. And we can move the fighters east. So now we have Hungary's army to support our operations. Not great corps, these are basically light corps. Okay, now. Yes, right now. It is only available through the Matrix shop. Okay. Okay, the British are out here. Okay, Romania signs the tripartite pact, so they're in the Axis. Italy's warships advanced 1. Romania stopping trade with Germany. With Italy, though, it's changed over a bit. The submarine group on the North Atlantic convoy lane sinks 1 convoy. The subgroup with 2 groups in the subgroup sinks 5 on the South Atlantic. And the other one with 1 just sinks 1. So we're doing a lot of convoy damage to the British. We're going to keep shifting our locations here. We're going to start somewhat heading back so we can head back to Brest to refuel, get new torpedoes. Okay, now we're having rain problems in Yugoslavia. The weather's killing me. Okay. There's too far away, so you guys come up here for future bombing raids. They can do 1 airstrike. Air units have 2 activity points. No, I don't want to move you just now. Okay, let's bomb Belgrade. Take Belgrade if you've already got Zagreb, and Yugoslavia falls. This should not be too much of a problem, especially with both of those. Okay, that's gone. Good. Let's move you down here. Well, and I pushed them out of there now with these 3 to 2. Oh, good, we got it. Wow, okay. Very good. Didn't expect that result. Hello, Sir Wagglepuss. How you doing here? And Grainwald, how you doing as well? Both of you having fun with the points roulette. That's cool. Hope you're getting good results, and no, I'm not paying attention to see who's winning and not. Okay, our current mechanized force. So what I want to do here, before deploying that, I want to move you to here, you up to here, so that we can then deploy our mech corps there. No Italians, or of course Romanians, to deploy this turn. So Yugoslavia is going to fall. Let's send this corps east. Now we're going to send it over into Romania here. And let's send this corps east, also into Romania. Well, let's move these guys across the river there. And come to here. Now we can also... do we not have... Hey, thanks for following. Hey, Arno. Well, glad to have you here, even for a short while. Yeah, here we go. I knew there was another HQ somewhere. Clutcher is going to come down here and going to sort of be the regional commander. You can see he can affect those 3 German corps. Now to keep from having totally vacated the region, let's move some of these back into here, and we're going to just march them to there. So I think that's good. Now, we have specialty points. Now, though many of you know the stream's going to go until for another hour and a half. Arno. Strategic Command has specialty units like anti-tank units, engineering units. This game, instead of having them as a separate unit, you can take a unit like this, and we have specialty points currently stockpiled up to 412 at a cost of 10 specialty points. We can add to a division like this. So we're going to do we're going to add engineers here, which have the river penalties, which will be great for invading the Soviet Union. And for our mechanized corps here, well, actually, you know, I think I want to put it at this mechanized corps up here. We are going to give them tank destroyers, you know, sort of like martyrs and that type of thing, added there. Now in Italy, we've got our Italian armor, and we've stockpiled up to that. And we're going to give them tank destroyers here, so that when we get to the Western Desert Force, which is basically the British Armor Force down here, we'll have a much stronger armored operation. Now we can again see here a little bit of an exploit, but Germany's at war. Germany's basing some aircraft out of Italy. It is raining. We'll see if we can effectively get... Okay, so they did damage of 2. And reports didn't find the second sortie, didn't find the fleet out here. Okay, damage of 1. And the second floor sortie from this Flieger Corps also didn't see the fleet in the rain. So the rain affects things like that. Now you can miss in the day, you know, regular daylight as well, but it seems to happen much more. Yes, thanks for following. Much more in the rain, which seems appropriate to me. Okay, so How many mountain core do we have? We have one mountain core coming. For various reasons, I like mountain cores, just generally speaking, so yeah, we have the ability to do that, and we're going to save up more stockpile points. Okay. Italy, supply trucks of 42. Italy, we have 10 more coming. You know, I think we're going to get some more supply trucks. Production of 30. There we go. That will help us in North Africa considerably. Oh, let's look at our partisan activity. Okay, so you guys march over to here. And you can come down to here. Suppress the partisans. Keep them from getting out of control. Actual partisans can be a unit in the Soviet Union. In the West, they just disrupt activity around them. So, ending the turn, Yugoslavia surrenders. I figured it would. Well, it rains in various zones. We can see just currently here the double rain in the sort of south of France and most of the north of France. It is just raining, not, you know, double levels. So it can vary in areas. Yugoslavia surrenders again. We sunk only 2 convoys and 2 fleets are low on supplies. 43 and 75. Okay. Yes, and you can see the little yellow bar. We're going to come into port since we're that close. Oh, there we are. And you can come into Brest. And so you can see up here lots of snow. Get down here in the south of France. This time it's raining in the south of France. It's snowing here in Yugoslavia. It is raining here in Yugoslavia in the mountains, and down here in Greece it is raining. So you can see it varies in different areas how the weather is. And that's good. Again, because I know people are still coming here. Air operations in a single offensive air operations, not rebasing, but offensive air operations can happen in a single density of rain or snow. If it's 2 snowflakes, like maybe we can, or 2 rain here, or 2 snowflakes like up in here in the north, no offensive air operations can happen. Okay, we're gonna move you down here. You can come down to Albania, and tactical bombers up there. Okay. We're gonna put you on trains and get you down here fast. Okay, so we're building up our partisan activity there. You head down towards the capital, and I think we can put you on railways as well. Guderian down there. So that works. Now we have more units ready to deploy. Okay, we have another fighter. Yeah, core. Okay. Go there, and it looks like we have some Italians ready to... Okay, an Italian armored corps. Let's deploy it here. And I've also put up a let's stop this when we get here. Details, unit details. This is an air superiority group that has been trained as... Oh no, this is the interceptor one. Okay, yeah, that's right, this is the interceptor one. We can rename it, but what is coming here for Italy, it should be, yeah, this one is set up as a anti-shipping unit, air unit to deal with the Royal Navy in the Mediterranean. So as you can see, we're getting ready for a rumble with Greece. Now we're gonna, one of the things you can do, which is turn a unit into a reserve unit here. It uses less maintenance upkeep to keep it going. It has very good defensive abilities, but only half strength on an attack. If it's done nothing for its previous turn, you can convert it back to an operational, normally operating infantry unit. This is just for infantry units, so you can do that. I want to keep some of these German units somewhat mobile here. Used up all my rail movement to go south in Yugoslavia. Okay, how many more divisions? No more divisions coming. So I think, let's look here. Let's build a few more infantry divisions. We'll build 3 more for Germany. Stockpile. We're going to stockpile more points for them, and we can see now that we have Yugoslavia in here. I mean, sorry, Romania. Sorry. Romania. Germany is getting a bunch of oil. We can see it's coming from convoys from Romania here. 40 oil. So it's one of the major suppliers of oil for Germany, as it was historically. What we're going to do, though, is set up a trade between Germany and Romania. We want them to have... They currently only have a stockpile of 2. Let's go with... let's go with 18. And we're going to give them, because we want their aircraft to operate, a little bit of oil back. Create a trade convoy going back, which isn't an actual overseas convoy, again, as we can see here. It's a rail one down through here. Now, some more German units backing up the Hungarian and Romanian forces, pushing east when we get ready, when springtime comes, and springtime for Hitler comes, and we invade the Soviet Union. Something that's, when you invade Russia, it always works out for the best, of course, doesn't it? Yeah, Napoleon, Hitler, Alright, okay, I think we've done most of what we want to do for this turn. This is low supply for the navies, which we've already sort of reacted to by bringing them back to port. turns happen reasonably fast. At least on my machine. It is CPU dependent. I'm understand. I've been told. So if you have an older CPU that's running slower, might not be as fast. Okay, USSR continues to reform its armies, increases military production for new arms, tanks, and planes. USA begins lend-lease to the UK. Much needed resources. Foreign volunteers join the Waffen SS, so we gain 60 manpower. And Germany advanced on heavy armor and close support, air support there. And our South Atlantic convoy sink, or convoy raiding group sinks 2 convoys. Okay. So we're out there, we're raiding convoys. They're in a bit of the rain. Well, let's push them down to here. We can head out to there. With Lend-Lease coming, I'm thinking maybe we're going to be seeing more activity on the North American convoy route, so we'll send out subs heading in that direction. And new partisan activity there. Okay, well. Was right there and there. Okay. Well, I was going to move these guys to Belgrade, but I want to hold the rails to keep the rail movement open. This rain isn't going to help us. And this is delaying our operations, and we have a Barbarossa to run soon. Okay, that's about as close as they can effectively get. You can build, and I really haven't been building airfields to put them in places that you can't naturally. Base aircraft. Okay, 1 damage. 2 damage. See, this time both sorties. Now this didn't find the, and this didn't. So, well, we're still running about 50-50 on finding the British fleet. Okay, I want to move you up to here. These units here, their strength, again, for those of you who haven't, they're, see this division, which, or sorry, corps which has moved, and this corps which hasn't moved, but is sitting on railways here, they're both at strength 30, but this is 83% effectiveness, and this is 77% effectiveness, so it's affecting. The first number is their combat strength. The second number is action points, which can be fully used up in movement. No, it's snowing. It's not a good. And raining. Okay, but you will get sort of a grayed out area if it can move but not attack the next turn. And weather affects it. Supply levels are affected. Similar things to that. Okay, now we're still just freaking getting ready for battling the Greeks. It's taking longer than I like. Like I say, I'd like to be able to see this when I'm looking at what to produce. Trucks and aircraft for Italy, and they are mostly doing upkeep, which is, I think a lot of the stuff we're doing is upgrading to new versions of ships and such. And there we're starting to build up a bit of a stockpile. I think we're going to let this build. We're going to let this build. Hey, Pit Fiend, how you doing? Thank you. Where are the railguns? No railguns in this game. Now, I like the railguns in Strategic Command. I can see a place for them here. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This has so many wonderful things here. The reason I've left this Fallschirmjäger unit up here, one, it needs to get to better. Well, let's put it on prioritize reinforcements. Needs to be at 100% to drop, and I'm leaving it on the railways to maybe quickly come down to, you know, Athens or down here in the Peloponnese to be able to do a airborne drop against, say, Crete or something. I'm not sure yet. Or we can send it to, you know, east to operate against the Soviet Union. But either way, it's getting set up to do that. Okay, yeah, we're going to leave that for next turn. And let's end the turn. Yeah, you're right, Marauder. Where, because they're railguns and armored trains in Strategic Command, okay, I think it could be appropriate the way I've seen this game work, and we'll show that in a moment. Okay, German anti-tank advancement 1, 10 supply trucks for Germany and 10 for Italy have been added to the pool, and our convoy sunk 1 group. So, an effective, we can see here, partisans are breaking out here. I'm having, as we're seeing this, a little more quibbles with the way these partisans are outbreaking, in that I have 3 divisions sort of around Brussels, and there's enough partisan activity to need to micromanage that short of a movement. I totally get the idea that I shouldn't just like abandon Western Europe, send all my forces east, and have no, hey, thanks for following, have no forces in the west to suppress either partisans and or naval invasions. So the idea of needing forces to reduce partisans, I fully agree with. The idea that I've got to micromanage it to, you know, that it doesn't have sort of a zone of control to some degree, and I've suggested the idea of an added auxiliary unit to a regular division or corps would be military police, to give it an even greater zone of control. So yeah, these guys will come to there. And so armored trains, particularly as a rapid, and we're going to put these on regular trains, but we can't go there because those partisans are blocking the rail unit. They've damaged the, and we can see here how the supply is now cut because of that, because we can see 99999, and we're not speaking German, and then we go 7 to where the damage is, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, down to 1. So they're cutting the railways here. And it's probably, I don't want to, well, I guess I could move up to there. Well, I think we're going to push into Greece and not worry about that. So, and especially if you're looking at something as large as the Soviet Union, armored train unit that really is just a partisan, you know, whack-a-mole type unit. I could see that as, and in the Soviet Union, we've been informed, I've not played into the invasion far enough yet, that partisans can actually be a unit on the map as well in the Soviet Union. I presume they would not need supply and probably not be terribly strong, but out there. And so if you've got to whack-a-mole them, got a lot of areas, I could see armored trains as being useful for that. And we can make one right now. Here we go. This division here, the 3rd Corps. What we're going to do is here we have specialty points. So instead of a heavy armored unit on the map, or a heavy artillery unit on the map, like we have in Strategic Command, which could sit back here and bombard other units, we can just use our points here. We cost 100, we have 266 currently saved up. We're going to give this, and you can see now the little dot up there, call it the shield or whatever. Now this unit has heavy artillery assigned. Railway guns could be seen as specialty siege weapons that I can see even at a core level game, because if you look at it particularly, well, almost all the big railway guns, they're at minimum core assets, which, you know, which would be attached to the core, but maybe more, some of the bigger ones are more army assets. They're, you know, they're under the, you know, army HQs. So, you know, for besieging a Moscow or a Leningrad or a Stalingrad or, you know, the Crimea, that having railway guns, I could see that as something on the map. So I'm just sort of like, oh, hey, Alvaro, good to have you here. No problem. We're just glad you're here. Yeah, it damages rail, but we want to keep that because, like, and I totally get the idea of them damaging the rail, and I agree with it. But with having, say, and I did have right here, I did have 3 divisions. This one started it in this hex here that I moved to there. Didn't suppress this partisan enough that I have to manually get here to shut that down. I thought was a bit much. Now here, there was nobody in this area, no forces here, and they've cut my railway lines, which I think is very appropriate. And so now I've got to move forces in to secure the railway lines. And here they're getting ready to do, so we'll do that. But I think a zone of control for anti-partisans would be a good idea. That's just my viewpoint. And again, that doesn't make my viewpoint correct in the game wrong. It's just how I'm sort of seeing this and how that's going. And I totally agree with the idea that they can cut the rail and supply and that you need to maintain the security there. Okay, now let's see if we can go into Greece. So we have our current setup down here. I think we're going to have, yeah, let's do this. And I'm actually going to save this first. Big step. So before we're going to bring Italy into the war. Oh, banana nana. Yeah, 2-player. It does. So you can have an Axis and an Allied player. But the AI so far has been making very good, as we can see, like defending the the river line and whatnot. Really good decision so far, I would say. Okay, so we can see going to war here. Click on Italy. They want to go to war with the UK. And they want to go to war with Greece, which forces Germany to go to war with Greece, which is now part of the Allies. Alright, so we have a lot of air units. I want to deal with this here, because I want to push down into here without going through their zone of control. So, airstrike. Airstrike. Can they? No, they can't reach. Yeah, we'll do one more airstrike. Okay, yes, good. All the way down to... So they pushed into here. Let's come into the mountains with our 5-to-1 and push them back to there. Very good. Okay, well, now we're going to swing around there. They're going to come down here, and we're going to use these. Cross the river to... Okay, well, that's exhausting them heavily. Let's... travel down into here. And move into there. They just basically move into there. Now I want to help the Italian pride here, and we're going to concentrate our attacks there. Oh, for everybody, Alvaro is the lead dev for the game, so pay attention to whatever he says about the game. He knows what he's talking about. And I'm very glad to have him here as part of this. Well, Italians are unable. Oh, they were able to budge them. Okay, well, that's good. No, we're not going to do that attack. Well, the Italians were able to do a little bit of an effective offensive there. Now, down here, we have picked the moment that the British... I don't know why they have their HQ leading the front here. I think this is the Western Desert Armor Force, which is actually a fairly smart position, but and they had their air up there. I don't understand that. So we've got that. Now we're going to, let's see, are there any? No British Navy. We want to attack this turn. Oh, we want to shift back to ground attack. Eight to 1. Very good. Now I probably should have had supply trucks starting this turn, but I, well, forgot, quite honestly. I'm going to move, overrun the air. Very good. So we've overrun the fighters there. And we're going to bring up the HQ to keep that there. And that armor is worrying me. That's the Western Desert Force, I believe. Yes. So that is worrying me a bit. Yes, just declared war on them. Absolutely, Alvaro. Which very well, they could not maybe, not expect that, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was the very first turn. Yeah, currently it's just for sale at the Matrix shop. So, keep that. Oh, there's the fleet. I didn't see them there. Let's... Oh, 8 damage, 1 sunk. So we sunk a bunch of the British fleet. Yay! Yeah, as I've said before, even in earlier this stream, I don't think Matrix realized what big a hit this is going to be. This is going to be a very big hit, I think, in this space of this type of war game. This is doing really well. I really like it. Okay, mount our motorized corps. Though it's not motorized, it's just infantry. Also, while I have your attention, of course, why can't we deploy units in East Prussia? I sort of kind of get it when it's cut off from the rest of Germany by Poland, but if we can deploy to Warsaw, I would presume East Prussia would be a thing. Not a production center? Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. These things, production center. Okay, no, that makes sense. Now I understand. Again, my thoughts aren't always correct. It just... Put you there, and you there, and yeah, no Italians ready to deploy. Okay, currently stockpile trucks 80 for Germany, 52 for Italy. Okay, lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, I want more air. I'm really like using the air in this. Yeah, don't anticipate that there's going to be... They've so far put a big if they release it on Steam. Hello, Terry 2... What is, or 21 PL, okay. How you doing today? Alright, okay. Have we dealt with our Navy? Did I remember to do this at the beginning? No, I didn't have it. Again, the 2 dots on the naval units, zooming in, these 2 dots mean there's 2 action points to happen here, so we will just use one to get to the convoy route, and the second one to do the raiding on that route. Hello, Drogan Needs. Sorry, I'm butchering that, I'm sure. stuck because of the weather. Right, okay. So that's looking good. Italy is now in the war, so what we're going to also do here is, I've been wondering about the armor. I didn't want to overly deal with too much supply, so I haven't moved them to North Africa yet. Now these look like they're going to be a nice little corps to help invade the Soviet Union, or army group, I should say. And I'm not sure if I want to use the second armored corps that I have. Move you to the rail line. Use them in the Soviet Union instead of North Africa. I'm figuring I probably need to move at least one good German armored corps to North Africa to help fully take it, but that's sort of the thought, but not one of the river crossing ones. Well, you have all the Nile stuff in here. Maybe you should have the river crossing one. That's an idea. Okay, I think we're ready to... Well, let's look at research. Some better long-range submarines. Well, that might be a thing. I think we're going to try to increase Italian armor. Capabilities, and we'll wait for the escort fighters. That's only 9 days away. And maybe push a bit more there. We've already got to the 40 level attack submarine, so let's do that. Germany. Yeah, we'll leave that for the moment. And what is... Hello, Scott Clinton. Yeah, every game you sort of need to sort of understand the audience for it. And what it's set up to be. I like and have played a bunch of the war in the East. I find it very enjoyable. But it's focused. It's just the East, or I don't have and haven't played War in the West. It's focused on this. I like that this is, you're deciding between the theaters and what you're wanting to do here. We want to come heavy, hard, and fast and just overrun the hell out of the Soviets. So we're moving these cores. You know, they've done studies that show very much that if you watch a YouTuber play a game, even if it's a linear story game, you know, there's only one right answer to get through this story, you know, so it's not going to change in different playthroughs, and you know it beforehand. People still want to play the game after watching it played. I find that interesting and very true, because when I watch a bit of Fly Daily's War Thunder, or XR or XTRG games or other things, and that makes me want to play them most assuredly. In Fields of Glory 2, if I watch some of that, it makes me want to play that game more because I really love that game. So, yeah, all of that. I'm just sort of checking here. Okay, production, we're stockpiling. We need to stockpile. Okay, we're upkeeping. Guess we're basically getting the Romanian army up to speed. Oh yeah. Oh, I totally recommend watching YouTubers play the game before spending money on it. I would be doing that as well. Okay, we're going to end this turn. Not that I know of. Yes, Historical Gamer, he's another good YouTuber, most assuredly. And I'll plug myself, of course, Gamer1745. Find me on Twitch under that, Gamer_1745. And there's a link there, as well as you can just search on YouTube, find out. Okay, Bulgaria signs the tripartite pact in exchange for territory from conquered lands. Bulgaria joins the Axis. Germany naval targeting advance, submarine attacks advance, and no convoys. One convoy, no convoys sunk. Okay. So convoys are being sunk or not, and we're going to move you down to here. You to here. Again, we can come to this thing and see the convoy routes that are currently active. Turn that off. I think we're going to come back up towards home with that subgroup. Thanks, Arno. Oh, I'm sure that having this game out in the wild now, and not just a few beta testers playing it, is going to have a lot of, I didn't know you could do that kind of thing, and need to, I don't know if correct is the right term, but okay, let's look at our supply situation here. Okay, well, so far we're doing decent in supply. We're going to fall back to here with these, put the armor up front. They're not really ready yet, obviously, to push there. So we're going to come up to here with this. I don't think they're going to push through the desert. Keep the HQ up close. We have a lot of air power. Yes, you're hearing gardeners out there. And so, yeah, very, you know, sometimes I definitely know of games that whether I'm going to actually really like them or just sort of, okay, I will buy them pre-order, but I've even had an owner or CEO of a different game company agree with me on Twitter. Yeah, you really shouldn't pre-order games. You should take a look at them first before doing that. And so, yeah, I would very much suggest that. Now we're going to switch over. We could start pounding airstrikes on this army unit, which would be useful, but instead we're going to no battle, didn't find them in the rain. Okay, there. Ooh, damage, one sunk. And another one damaged. So we're going to fly these Italians, and we're going to switch them over to naval attack instead of ground attack. And naval might not be so obvious that you would need to have a switch over, but do you want to strategically bomb a production hex city combo unit, or do you want to strike the air unit in it, or do you want to strike the ground unit in it? So these other three are, and of course you can have strike the naval units in a port as I'm just thinking about this. So yes, that I can even see that as being. So we're going to try to sink as much. Couldn't find them in the rain, and couldn't find them in the rain. Okay, so we got some reasonable hits on this fleet, whatever it is. Ships, one with a battleship left. Okay, because we did sink one. Okay, now we're still pushing into Greece here. Well, okay, that's beyond their operational range. Well, let's hit them harder. Good. I've really come to accept that we need to hit hard with our forces and not just tickle them, as it were. Boot them, not tickle them. Who am I referring to? Well, they hope. Guderian, yes, you got that. No, unfortunately it's gardeners. I live in an apartment complex and I can't control when the gardeners are outside. Unfortunately, sorry about the extra noise. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Okay, we're gonna just continue to rely upon. Here, we want to use both of these, take this out so that we're not having to deal with their zone of control. Come down here again. Push them out of the way. Oh, that would take all of it, because again, we have to fight their zone of control. Well, let's see if we can get this unit out. Okay, we're going to retreat these guys up to here. Which pushes them out. There. Okay, we've used up all of our effective air power. That's not terribly effective, so they get to hold for another turn because of bad weather. Well, we can move these forward. Bad weather's slowing me up. Okay. Now back to production. Stockpiling, stockpiling, stockpiling. You can really see the upkeep now is really heavy on the Italian forces. Let's put you on rails. Send you over here. Which it should. It's not a complaint. It's just seeing how things are going. Okay, again. Okay, what do we... Oh, we have... Oh, yes. Our... naval bombers. Yeah, let's move. We're gonna keep you safe back here, relatively safe. I don't think they can get to you. And now to deploy our tactical naval bombers there. Help deal with fleets in range. Okay, we have 2 mountain cores coming, one soon. One probably before we go after the Soviet Union as well. I am being very conscious in my mind on fuel usage. Don't know how desperate that's going to get for operations in the Soviet Union, because currently we are getting, well, Sweden is blocked. Okay, because of winter operations. I'm not sure exactly why Sweden is blocked, but I'm guessing it's overly winter, overly snow, double layer snow, as I'm guessing here. But we see from the Soviet Union we're getting 10 oil. We're shipping out 14 oil to Italy to keep them operating, and 3 and 3 to Hungary and Romania, so they can stockpile some oil, mainly to keep their aircraft flying, as I'm understanding this. So incoming from Romania is 40 oil, 10, so we have 50 coming in there, and 75. That sounds about right, because Germany did have oil deposits of their own. And I don't know if it's on the map or accounted for, they did get some oil deposits in Czechoslovakia, minor ones. More were in Germany. And then, of course, they were also doing synthetic oil during the war, and that continued to build up heavily during the war. The bigger problem was Allied bombardment of synthetic oil factories, which disrupted it more than their lack of building more factories. And they had plenty of coal to convert over to oil. You can hit T. Can you hit T for me near Norway? Sure. We're getting the Oslo down here. So, yeah. Yep, we own Narvik. I'm not sure why it's not happening there. Let me hit the supply. Oh, well, it's probably the partisans that are showing up there that may be disrupting it. So let's put. Oh, gotta close this. That's right. Okay. Let's put these on rail. Oh, we only get to here, and then we get to roads. So okay. Onboard ships to Narvik. Off ships. Okay, they'll deal with that soon. We'll move you down to watch the port and any invasion possibilities there. So that's why it's going. Yes, we've addressed that now. The lack of railways going up there, sort of. We do it. So yeah, and so because of what I was saying, oil is historical. Germany had oil problems, so I want to build more armor, but I'm afraid. Well, I'm afraid that we're going to use it up, but I don't know. Use up too much oil. Okay, mechanized core uses 2 oil. Armored core uses 2 oil. 41. Yeah, we will do this because we will want it eventually. Okay. Oh, is there anything? No, Italy is just maintaining itself, which is fine. It has a lot of units. More than I can effectively put on the front line at the moment. Still not sure what I'm going to do about this guy. Whether I want to send him down here or send down a German armor unit and send them up to Operate here is probably what we will do. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. Oh yes, every turn. Yeah, partisan activity. So we're getting partisan activity here, which is going to cut our rails eventually. So we can look here also to see on the supply map, which shows us that partisan activity in here. I don't know if HQs help partisan or help produce partisan activity or not. We'll put these guys on rails to get them down here. We probably could use a couple of more security divisions in Yugoslavia. Port supply interdiction. Not sure what's interdicting, how that's happening. I'm not saying. Okay. Not really sure. Okay. Separate from a core. Well, they do have divisions in this game. And my thought is, like these specialty points, is to have a specialty points for military police. Now, I would probably have it cost less than 140 or something, to be able to add military police to a division that would have a greater, probably about this zone of control, that would reduce partisans anywhere in that area to, non-functioning. So you just spread these out over the area, reduce down your partisans. Bomber, okay, bomber within 8 hex is good. Like I said, I've skimmed the manual. Oh, it's these. Okay, it's this bomber here, probably. But I've not fully read it. Don't ever expect people to read your manuals until they're stuck. That's quite honestly the way most of us treat manuals for games. Once we're stuck and can't figure it out, then we go to the manual. We don't do it beforehand. And yes, I like that you have the dots on the naval and air units to show how much activity they've done or this so far this turn or lack thereof. Okay, we're going to end the turn. Yes. Yes. If there's enough problem, if I haven't figured it out instinctually of what's going on, then I do definitely go to the manual. But no, because, as I read the dev diary and go, cool, that Alvaro started out with Third Reich, old Avalon Hill game, and so did I. So starting out with that as a basic premise of how this game is to work is, so conceptually I get this game. I don't have to read a manual to figure out the basics of how things work. But it's going in and looking at stuff in more detail. Okay, so we've sunk 4 convoys, 1 convoy, and this one is low on supplies, and we can look for the little yellow one, and I think it's the one that's been out here longest. Yes, so they were going to go all the way, we'll send them all the way into Brest. Get resupplied immediately. Now let's also quickly look. There are no British supplies going here. Okay, so if we were to, okay, it's already saying low supply for these submarines. Okay, so if we were to move an Italian bomber, which maybe is these down here giving us low supplies or something, for Malta. Whether there should or shouldn't be a supply convoy needed route to Malta, I don't know. I would sort of think so, but I don't know. Okay, let's look at our partisan activity. Okay, well, close as I can get, and as close as I can get right now. Let's move these guys via railway. To here. The Army Group HQ. Now we want to finish off Greece. Well, the HQ can't attack, but I'm also hoping to reduce down. This has taken a lot longer than I would like. Pound them with air, bomb cities from the air. No, you're too far away. I thought so, and you're also too far away. Okay. One to two. No, that just doesn't. Okay, well. 3 to 2 we'll take. Okay, well, next turn we'll be able to come at it from more. Well, unless we can come now. No, that's not good enough. But let's see, what can we do here? I really thought I was going to get Athens this turn. Rain, 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 go away. Hello, Ellen Devout. So we have that. We have stuff to deploy. So another mountain core. As any good German player has dreams of invading the Soviet Union through Persia and coming up north. We have those dreams. I don't know how practical that is in this game. Okay, yeah, the railways, well, a little more connected than historical. I don't think this was connected, or maybe it was down through here. One of these wasn't connected at the time, and you had to take a bus. I remember reading a 1930s article on it, and technically this railway that goes through here would go back into Turkey and then back into Syria because it was built during the Ottoman Empire period, but that's probably a little too micro for this thing. But yeah, so supply might be an issue coming through here, but boy, we want to do that. I don't know. And then, of course, I'm presuming again that mountain units will do well in northerly climes with lots of snow. So let's put this, okay, let's deploy this to Seton so we can put them on board ship. Now, again, I want to look at supply. Okay, so them being here, we've dealt enough with the partisans up there. They're still sort of stuck moving to there. Oh, they can come to there, and these guys get to go take Belgrade. So we need at least one more division down here to deal with partisans. So we're going to grab this division here since it's on the railways, and yeah, and maybe a second division here. To deal with things coming, I'm guessing, I'm feeling in my bones in dealing with Greece. So come down that way. Okay, airplanes and airfields. My understanding is that any of these, let me just click on one here that we can still move around. Okay, any of these hexes that I can fly to are perfectly fine to use as operational airfields. These, which I've not really used yet, build these, as it says, allows air units to land on a hex normally prohibited from having air units. So if I wanted to say put a couple of more airfields around here, you know, in the mountains where they don't already have enough flat land to naturally have an airfield, we can deploy some airfields. So you keep that in mind in obviously rugged parts of the world or whatnot. So that is how you deploy and you use the air, what the air operations are for. And I really hope that they don't get after my aircraft there. You're very welcome, Navy. Infantry Corps large, 1940, Germany. Yeah, we'll put another one of those in the pipeline. Italy is still trying to just stockpile a bit, and these guys are slowly... Oh, let's look at Bulgaria. Okay. Bulgaria, very little production, very little stockpile. They're now in the Axis. I have some manpower. Don't know what use they are with just one corps, which seems to be awfully light on forces. Not that they had a, you know, very large army. Might be a couple of divisions would be good to add to that, so they could do anti-partisan work or something in, because they did sort of grab up a bunch of Yugoslavia and Greece during the war, plus deploy to areas outside their territorial expansion to do some anti-partisan operations. So that might be helpful there. One last question. Hopefully it's not your last question. Have you any naval to naval battles? I've not done that. Well, I've had submarines and I've attacked submarines. I'm trying to think. Did I also engage fleets in some of my test battles? I don't remember fleet on fleet actions. I have gone after submarines, and I've had submarines gone after by naval vessels. Mostly I'm not wishing to challenge the Royal Navy with my fleet. That's more of a tactical decision. Then, yes, thanks for following us, Keller Star. We do appreciate that. So I'm planning on using Navy very appropriately in the Baltics to deal with whatever Soviets are going on, and I like to use naval air power to sink fleets as much as possible. Okay, down here. Now that we don't have a fleet nearby, well, let's see, we're at 86, and let's look at our supply situation. Okay, 4 up front, 5. Okay, so we're fair with that. Let's, oh, they're too far back. Okay, advance forward for future operations. Oh, no, damn, I messed that up there. They're still tagged as doing Naval, that's right. I didn't need to move them up, so I wasted an operational movement point. Let's see what we can reduce down. So that will probably be a really supply fuel mess. So let's use a truck. It supplies them for 1 turn, or improves their supply for 1 turn. So let's come down here now and see what we can do. 1 to 1. Yeah, okay. Not so great. Let's retreat back. We need to bring a German armored unit down here. These guys can do ground attack, but not very effectively. Not affect much. Big thing is we got to get this armor out of here, get some occupation forces in, send 1 armor south to North Africa, and the rest, mentioning that, I think that's what we're going to do here. Is move that way. Okay, we have nice groups of fighters. Have this 1 reserve corps, which I've been sort of dithering on, whether I want to east, west, or some other direction. Just checking, yeah. Oh. I wanted to set up a convoy to Bulgaria. Don't think they have anything that uses fuel. Just sort of for maintenance. Let's throw them 3. Not too little? No, we'll do 4. We're gonna do it. Maintain that core, help them out. I don't know if they're ever going to get a stockpile big enough that we're going to put in another unit or something, but just having that somewhat well funded would be helpful. Okay. Let's end the turn and see how things go. While we're watching the turn, again, you can follow my channel, gamer_1745 on Twitch, and subscribe over on YouTube. Either just search for my name on YouTube, or you can find a link to the YouTube channel on my Twitch channel, either way. Okay, Germany assault advanced 2. Escort fighters advanced for Italy. Convoy, okay, we sunk 4 convoys, no convoys. 4 convoys. Oh, the Mediterranean convoy. Well, that's our stuff being sunk. Okay. United submarine. Okay, so let's. Oh, that's here. Okay, so that's here. So let's see if we can. Nope, they're not in range to bombard them. Well, now they are. Okay, damaged 1. Now. My German unit, is it close enough? No. We'll see if we move it over or not. Depending on how things go here in Greece. Fortunately, no rain. No range for them. Now let's okay, 3 to 1, boom. Okay, yay, finally get Athens. I presume that will shut all of their attacks down. So since that happened, let's move you up to here. And oh, that took all of your points. Oh well. Would that be close enough? We convert over to no. Okay, we will. Oh, ooh, there's an opportunity. Well, at least we're going to attack with our air here. Who damage 2? See, this is BB. What is that? The Rodney or something? Damage 2. Did damage our air a bit, so we're down at 18 out of a strength of 20. So we've been messed up a bit. I think it's more important to push past here if we can. I'm going to spend the trucks just to make sure everybody gets well supplied. Two to 1. 1 to 2. Okay. Yeah. Probably should have done that from the first. 3 to 1. You out of the desert sands into the better supply there, and yeah, well, we're doing fairly well with the Western Desert Force there, and we'll move up these fighters and strike. Also, just to move them up. Okay, so that's going reasonably well. Let's deal with our naval situation. You're going to come out on the South Atlantic convoy route. You guys are running low of supplies, so we're going to, yeah, come all the way back with you. But you, we're going to come up to here. See if you can do some more damage until you run out of supplies. I think we do have a long range submarine group coming? Yes. Oh, that's what's ready here. I believe that is a long-range group. So let's deploy this. Alvaro, if you're still there, are we going to get eventually a production center out in this area for German submarines? Germany did build some really nicely concreted in submarine pens that they did actual production in, mostly what you would call it assembly work. Okay, on your list of ideas, yes. So on assembly work, so they would, you know, ship in the engine, ship in, you know, all the fittings and other parts, and actually assemble the holes, assemble them there under the under the concrete production facilities but they also did continue production up here. Because they could only produce so much in down there, and they need to do it under concrete because it was otherwise way too bombed. Okay. 2 more there, security divisions. One more here. What we're going to do is close. Oh, do we have a town? No, no Italians to deploy. We're going to put you. Why can't we put you on rail? Is it not a rail point? I guess not. No, it isn't. Okay, well, we'll come down here with that. Alright, okay, so we're still a little too early to go into the Soviet Union. We want to do that with a big bang. And current partisan likelihood zones. Yeah, I'm actually going to move you back here. March, counter march equals disorder. You're going to come here, you're going to come here. No, you're not on the rails either. Okay, come up to here now. We're not going to leave you as a anti-partisan operation. Okay, before we get to that, let's see what we can do. Get you off the rails. Dealing with heavy rains. Oh, you're just on roads. Yes, okay, I see. I'm presuming this is all going to collapse. I'm going to want at least one armor unit to go to North Africa. And here, okay, oh, that's the para unit. Okay, we want to leave that. Well, I don't know where I want to move that yet. Why is Yugoslavia called Yugoslavia? I don't know. I presume you were talking about here. Don't know. So we're looking at that. This is looking good. Typo. Okay. Bombers, Fleet Corps. I think I want another tactical close support. 360, yes, that will still be quite a ways out, but we want that. I want that. Okay, so let's, oh, we got a lot of partisans to deal with. Okay, yeah. Well, these guys we can deal with right now. Yeah, these we're still moving towards. Down here, need more troops, we need more units there. Okay, yes, we need more anti-partisan divisions. What's in the pipeline? None. Okay, back over here, German stockpile. Ooh, we're low. But I think we can afford, 72, because we've gone up to 41. Let's produce a 39 division. Okay, we'll produce some more of those. Again, we can see all this going on here. We could put them on rails and get to here with them. So that will end the turn. Well, no, let's get rid of the supply and end the turn. Greece surrendered like I expected. They've withdrawn to there. Like I expected they would at least try to. Britain has lots of air power there. That's why we brought lots of Italian air power and a little bit of German. Okay, Lend-Lease gearing up for war. Finland joins the Axis. Synthetic fuel plant comes online. Very good, providing 5 oil. Germany's escort added to the availability pool. 10 trucks added. Greece surrenders, as we already had notification. Okay, North Atlantic Convoy Group sinks 3 convoys and 1 escort. The South Atlantic Convoy Group sinks 4 convoys. Supply convoy attacked by enemy naval forces. Okay, they sunk 3 convoys in the Mediterranean, and our fleets have no supply. Okay, so that would be here, I presume. Again, see our convoy and our vulnerabilities to it there. So that is why we have a specialty anti-naval warfare or tactical unit. Couldn't find them in the rain. They're too far away still. They're not. Couldn't find them in the rain, and couldn't find them in the rain. Okay, well, since they're too far away, let's move that to there. Now, well, okay, we're gonna send supply trucks to these guys. Good, they're lowering their, okay, they need to move forward, keep them on the roads. Well, I think to there. Okay, what can we do? 3 to 1, very good. They can't move forward, but they can. 3 to 2, that's acceptable. Even though it is exhausting us. Well, let's move these guys up to the front. Advance the infantry up to the front. Keep the, well, let's move, yeah. Keep them in contact. Now we can do 1 ground strike. These have got to be too far. Oh, no, what? Yeah, they could attack there, but we don't need to stick on anti-naval type operations. Okay, so now. I think the Nile's going, well, I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but it might be difficult. Yeah, we're going to put these guys on board ship, and we're going to bring them down to here, and we're going to get them off ship. There's a game called Order of Battle, Alvaro, that Slytherin produces. Nice game. It's very much like Panzer Corps, if you remember that from the days past. I don't know of any new DLCs coming. The last one, of course, which I was playing for them was the Soviet Viewpoint campaign, Red Star. Don't know anything more coming out about that. Okay, so now we want to get some of these guys. Okay, we got one with river crossing bonuses. We'll get a second armored river crossing bonus unit up to here because it looks like we're going to be wanting to cross some rivers. And we're not going to leave our armor and mechanized forces stuck down here. It's much more of a tactical game, and I think we're just gonna fly you for now up and out of here. I think because we're facing some British. Oh, we got Crete. Very good. They didn't have any troops on Crete, so great. Let's come down here with some air power. We already have 2 Flieger Corps there, which is very good. But I think we're going to need more operational in the north against the Soviets. Yeah, we can move this. Guderian's HQ. Well, for now, we'll just get it to here. And you keep coming down here. Okay, oh, we got lots of partisans to deal with. Okay, you, yeah, you come up to there. And yes, like I figured we would have some putting down there. And back here, yes. And down here, yes. Again, we can do sort of this viewpoint to see things either have happened or will be sort of developing soon, so that we can get on them. About dealing with their partisans. Okay. Port supply interdiction. Okay, again, they're with the subs dealing with that. Well, you know, these Italian forces will now be more helpful, I think, in suppressing partisans. Get out of this mode. Well, okay, so they will repair itself, yes, but I sort of do want to suppress them from cutting our rail lines as much as possible, unless that is totally not useful. It isn't. Okay, well, didn't know that. Now these guys, I wanted to put them on board ship. And okay, that's beyond. Oh, gotta select the ship. There we go. Come up to here. I want to be ready for operations up in Finland now that we have Finland in the Axis. Okay. That is pretty good. Liking what we're getting here. We're going to bring up our version of the Africa Corps as soon as we can. All right. Got some garrisons moving around. That's good. Okay. What can we deploy here? Another Panzer Corps is ready. Put it here. Move it up to there. I think that was it that we have. Now, let's look at Finland's. Oh boy, Finland doesn't have much, does it? Okay, now it has some air units. So it will need some oil to operate, and it will need some production upkeep. And I want to look over here. We're already running, Finland is donating to us to production already. We're going to donate more back to it. So let's just do one air or one oil for now. I just don't want to totally drain our oil capabilities, but I want to have Finland have some level of oil coming in. Well, maybe they needed 2 for upkeep. Okay. Yeah, anybody out there, ask questions. Alvaro, again, is the developer of this game, so he can answer them. I am running a little past time, scheduled time, because I'm having so much fun, and there's a bunch of you watching. So I hope you're all interested in this. We will be ending shortly, but not just yet. Okay, so we got that. Italy's just maintaining its upkeep, stockpiling a bit. All right, so I want to try to push a little bit more into here. And yes, you guys need to come back to get resupplied. That was the other one there, yes. And we deployed last turn long range submarines, so that not that they go any faster, but that they can go out and stay out longer and operate further once they get operating out here. Okay, so that is good. That is good. Let's end the turn. Let's see if we can get in one more turn before we end this. Alvaro, you got a hit on your hands. I'm really enjoying this game. Oh, they've turned it into an infantry, or they retreated back, and there's an infantry corps there now, I guess. That's probably the Western Desert Group back there now. Okay, South Atlantic convoy. 2 convoys sunk. Finland is lacking merchant marines for convoys. German ships will be used to ship remaining resources to Germany. Okay. We probably need to build some more convoys for Germany. Oh yeah, no, I understand that this is fresh out, and I hope everybody else does, and that things are going to be improved. Okay, they're up there. And so things will get improved and made much, much better. Okay, well. I'm loath to move forward. Okay, I want to look at supply. Okay, we're down to 111. Okay, that is very limiting. Swap those units out. I like that this is easy to do. Okay. So I'll turn the supply off here. Two to one now. Yay! 2 to 1 now, and they're all used up. Okay. Now we'll move up. We're going to use a German supply truck to make sure they stay in good supply. And we're going to use a supply truck there. And we're going to use a supply truck here. Again, supply trucks only affect the next coming turn, and they're used up. So you need to be careful. No event for the December Russia war. Oh, well, there was events for the Finno-Russian war earlier. I think the border... well, if you notice here, that yeah, it does look a bit wonky. He is right here because we have a Soviet Union... Okay, well, okay, so I guess, yeah, there's this border, red line border here, but you can see the Soviet border is actually more here, I think, now. And they're just defending back away, so this little dash line, I guess, should have moved or something. I don't know if it can. I'm reading it. The Italian Mechanized Corps is 41 progress. Top right, below the top. With a direct link to affected units. Oh yes, yes, you can go. Boom, right to there. And units out of supply here. So is the original line. Okay. So these guys, they get to come into Brest. These guys are all supplied up, so let's send out to get to the North Atlantic supply route. Okay, so we pushed here. We're not going to get... don't want to be cut off because I was warned that if I drive here, I'm not going to necessarily have supply. And so we're going to keep pushing without overly straining all of this. I want to do it smart. Maybe with more experience, I would push harder. Yeah, now Alvaro seems to have got a reasonably competent AI here, which was something we can't always say about all games. That is trying to hold a river line here, trying to hold this river line here. Don't know how well this is doing here. I get that this is holding the railway junction here, which is smart. Well, this looks ripe for cutting off. Also, this looks ripe for cutting off up and around here. We will see once we get some armor units here, which we are moving up. April, well, we'll spend it. Well, not until we... still in the snow, I know. That when we get to push north, push places. Oh yeah, no, look, you can distill a game down to checkers or chess or something, which did sort of start out to some degree as a war game. But as Alvaro is saying here, this is you have to do a game well. You need to do a good, decent immersion because people expect to play World War II. I don't want to get my supplies all cut off. I get that they're self-healing. You need to move. Tactical bombers, yeah, that would be nice here. Now we still have these subs out here, so let's... Didn't find them. Didn't find them. Subs are tricky, they can go under the water. Oh, damaged one, good. So we found him that sortie. Let's see if we find him again. Not this sortie, okay. Yeah, they're hiding under the water thingy, yeah. Oh, I can see this would be a great human versus human game. That would look really, really good. Okay, everyone, I think we're going to sort of end this live stream here. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you haven't already, please follow the channel here. You can follow my channel on Twitch. That's gamer_1745. And also on YouTube, which I will be in a couple of segments posting all of these videos in higher quality than streamed now over on YouTube. So if you showed up sort of late, you can get them on YouTube, see what's going on, and you can subscribe over there. That's gamer_1745. And there's also a link from my Twitch channel to the YouTube channel. So thanks everyone. Thanks Alvaro for a great game, and thanks for showing up and lending a hand in answering questions. And thank you Banana-Roo, Keller Star, Dickie G, Nikki, everybody else. Thanks so much. See you next time, maybe next week, not sure what's going on, but thank you all so much. And we'll be ending now.